What's up, everyone? Carmine Dinisco, the Launchpad, UIA TV. We got some cool stuff happening. Wanted to bring on a good friend of mine. We talk a lot. He's an entrepreneur. He's an innovator. He's even an inventor. But don't play golf with him, especially if you're going to bet money. Good friend Jeff Shavitz. What's happening, man?
Hey, Carmine, you have an open invitation for golf. I promise.
I love it. No, no, I know you. I know you're out on the course all the time. Me too. I learn how to get out there. But even when you're out on the course, entrepreneurs like yourself, you're probably working anyway, right?
Building relationships. That's what I tell people.
Yeah, we were talking about, when we were young, Jeff, we never really thought about playing golf. I really wish I took up the sport when I was younger. It's so
Me
great, these
too. I
younger
know. My
kids.
kids are they're so lucky to start at a young age, and they're a lot more flexible than you and I.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier when you can turn your body.
I don't drive my car as far as these kids hit the ball, right?
It's incredible. It's a different game.
It really, really is. So no, man, I wanted to catch up. And we got the podcast going on. I took off for a year there. I was kind of burnt out doing the podcast. We still got a bunch of listeners who are always asking for stuff. You're an inventor, you're an entrepreneur. You got some really cool companies going on. Talk a little bit about your background, maybe 5 minutes, and then let's talk about this new venture that you have going on. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, I love it. So I came out of school and I became an investment banker for Lehman Brothers. Did the whole corporate thing, working 80 to 90 hours a week, selling billion-dollar companies. I was just the little junior guy running the numbers, sleeping in the office, 1 or 2 days a week. And then after about 2.5 years, I got into business school. But I said, this is a real critical stage. I was about 24. I want to become an entrepreneur, sort of like you. We were talking about it before the podcast started. And I invented with a Chinese gentleman paper binoculars. Little promotional idea, and I was fortunate to get the NFL to buy 500,000 pairs for the Super Bowl. So this is all concurrent with getting into business school, staying at Lehman, and I said to my girlfriend, now my wife, saying, "Hey, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to try to start a binocular company." And I started going door to door, literally door to door to big corporations as a little promo item. And I got really fortunate. I sold all the professional leagues, HBO, CNN, Turner Sports, and it created a promotional products company. Like I'm looking at the back of you, all the stuff you have. And I started making logoed merchandise. And we grew the company into a nice business, had about 50 employees and working only with Fortune 500 clients. And I did it for about 5 years, but I felt there could be more in my life. And I was looking for a different, not more sophisticated. I just felt that the industry was the clients were buying direct from China, as you know better than me. And to have a middleman was difficult. So through my finance background, I was introduced to the payment processing business, credit card processing.
Mhm.
And everyone uses a credit card, but you don't really think about the back end, like what happens and how does
Yeah.
it get done at the restaurant, the dry cleaner,
Oh yeah.
so I started a one-person credit card company, sort of like the one-person binocular company. And I grew the company to about 500 people over about a 15-year period. And we started helping small businesses, big businesses, anyone who accepted credit cards as a form of payment. We became what they call the processor. And like in everything I've done in my professional life, I want to get really involved in that industry. I ended up becoming the educational author to the payment space. And then I was asked to be on the advisory board of the biggest company in the world called First Data.
Wow.
Most of your listeners probably will not have heard of because they have no brand recognition, but they're a Fortune 100 company. And their technology does all that quote processing for Home Depot, Walmart, all these merchants. But my expertise was the small to mid-sized merchant, like from $1 a month to $1 million a month is sort of where I was playing. So I did that for a bunch of years and started writing a bunch of books, on business. I've had a few bestsellers on Amazon. One that your listeners, and I'm happy to give you a free version, Carmine. If any of your, I could send a PDF to you that you can forward on. One was called "Size Doesn't Matter: Why Small Business is Big Business." And it sort of got a cult following in the entrepreneurial world. And it just talked about my journey. Because, as an entrepreneur, you and I both know this, when it's going great, it's great. And when it's bad, it's really bad.
Oh yeah.
And I've been stolen from, we've all had the same trials and tribulations. And Love the credit card space. I loved who I met. I mean, a lot of it's people, right? Meeting you, meeting others. That's the fun part, helping a small business owner. And I still do that. But what's happened over the past couple of years, I've been happily married now for nearly 33 years. One of my lawyer friends, and it's just going to dive into my new venture right now, Carmen, that I
Yeah.
shared with you. One of my lawyer friends said to me, "Hey, Jeff, God forbid you were to die right now. Would Jill, your wife, who you tell everything to, what would happen?" And I said, and I'm sorry to curse on your podcast, it would be a shit show. It would not be very good. I mean, there is stuff in my brain, there's stuff in the computer, there's stuff in the paper vault, the bank vault. And he is a wills and estate attorney. And every week he's being challenged by families that unfortunately are losing loved ones. And they're going through this chaos at the most difficult time in one's life. So my latest venture is called Fam Vault, where we've built a digital vault. We've built it on all the blockchain and AI and the most sophisticated technologies and the most secure security in cybersecurity. We have built a vault for when you unfortunately pass away. And having work with so many inventors, this is your world, and entrepreneurs, God forbid one of your members, I see all the products behind you, builds a product, and God forbid they were to pass away. Do they have the CAD drawings? They have all the information at your fingertips? And our product solution is a seamless trigger for when you do pass away, that all the information in one simple, it automatically gets transferred to your children, your wife, your husband, etc. And I feel really good about, the payment world has been good to me, but I really feel we're doing good for the world right now because we've really tapped into a market that people don't like to talk about. And I don't care if you make 10 grand a year, $1 million a year, or anything in between, many people are not prepared for the inevitable.
Yeah. What do you think? And I'm so glad we're talking about this because, I mean, this really pertains to so many people. What do you think the percentage of people that are actually prepared if they were to pass away? I mean, it's got to be so small.
It's so small. And what's even scarier, as part of our research, only a third of the US population has a will. And of the will, many are not current. And many people have not shared with their significant other if they were to pass away. Like, God forbid I were to pass away and my wife didn't have my password to my Dropbox or my Google Docs. She could not get in legally into my computer. Also, what happens is it's incredibly expensive. If you're not prepared to recreate everything, is
Yeah.
incredibly complex. So before I started this venture, I probably interviewed over 1,000 people from all different socioeconomic backgrounds. And to your point, Carmine, people procrastinate. I don't care if you're, quote, successful, you procrastinate. I'm sure all your inventors are incredibly skilled people, but they're artists and they're entrepreneurs. Have they really taken the time to think about what happens? Like, we just spoke to the city of Los Angeles. This is a few months ago when they had all the fires there. There were literally banks that were burning down with all their paper documents.
Oh God.
So I'm not even pitching. I'm just saying people should be prepared regardless. Or, I mean, tragedies do happen. And so we're also talking to a lot of people, firefighters, policemen, people that are putting their lives on the line. Or let's say you're a person, we're talking to the Veterans Association. Let's say you're a school teacher. Let's say you have a home worth $250,000. That's a fortune of money. And if you were to pass away and not have your proper documents, getting that home transferred to the next of kin
Mm.
is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where we're coming in right now. But and I also think being around you and all your inventor friends, I use the word that they're artists, that they want to create, and I think we had the case study with unfortunately, one of your members that passed away. It became a very difficult, you know,
Yeah.
couple of weeks, couple of months for that person trying to get the documents ready for the next for the family members.
Correct. During COVID, yes, we had a few clients, if you want to call them, pass
Yeah.
away, and so many documentation, so much information. They were going through a partnership. They were talking to people about a licensing deal, and all those documents were all over, and their loved ones, their family. Not only were they upset, but now they have to worry about their future, and they felt petty because they were asking for things. And I was like, no, we want to help you, but you're 100% right. It's not just about what you're talking about, Jeff, the disaster side of it. It's about the organization side of it too, because you can you guys were good enough to let me check this out. I could use it as an organizational platform.
Yeah, it's funny you said it was never intended, but our technology, and I'm happy one day to come back on, Carmen, and do a little demo
Yeah.
for your members. The technology is so easy, and we recognize that many people are not computer literate. So we've built the technology to have your advisors upload all the documents on your behalf. And we just got approved for it's called SOC 2. Maybe you're familiar with that, Carmine. We just got approved by the US government as being one of the most secure websites. So we know if we're going to take on very special data and documents of a loved one, that we need a secure atmosphere for it.
Yeah.
So we want to do the right thing by the world right now. We've been very fortunate to quote be successful in our careers. And this is now a love passion of mine to do right and build a business where we can help others. And we think, having met many of your members, I think there's a real synergy to be working with your organization.
Well, 100%. Now, how do people get their documents into this program? Because I could see people that maybe are a little older, they're not technical, or even myself, hey, I'm busy. I think I'm so busy. How do I get these documents in? I mean, is it easy? Is it tough?
Yeah, we've made it. So we use the word like simple elegance. The uploads are so easy, but the technology behind it is so incredibly complex.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you go to the ATM machine, taking out $20 is pretty easy to do, but it has to work. So we have your telephone can take a digital picture and we can upload it automatically. You can scan something into your computer, upload it. But where we've created a thing called the Exchange Hub that, let's say people have usually 4 to 5 advisors, their insurance person, their accountant, their lawyer. We can send an automated email. You can through our system. It never leaves FamVault. It's all totally secure. And you can have your advisor upload it. So literally within 1 to 2 days, by
Wow.
a few emails, you can have your FamVault be totally uploaded and you're good to go. And we spent a fortune. When I say fortune, millions of dollars. So I consider myself, I'm not a product inventor. I'm more of a technology service inventor. But I like to be involved with entrepreneurs and inventors. So we've created a different type of technology that is so easy to use that no matter how non-techy you are, you'll have a great experience with FamVault.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, having these service providers, your accountant, I mean, they're set up to upload things. That's what they do. So having them do it directly into your FamVault folders, I mean, it's what better than that?
I'll give you an easy one. We've spoken to many mortgage companies. When you buy an apartment or a home,
Oh,
many
perfect.
times you lose those documents. So we're now adding on at the time of purchase or rental, you literally upload the document into your FamVault. You put down mortgage document or house documents. And it's amazing to me how many smart people I know and that can't find documents. Because it happens maybe every 2 to 3 years you need it, but when you need it, you really need it.
Oh, no, no doubt. Like we will be talking to somebody and we'll be talking about a sale or a license, and it'll come down to like the day. And I'll say, okay, just send me over that. And they're like, I can't find it. I'm like, oh my
Exactly.
God.
Exactly. So we've made it very economical, and it should be, with your organization, we have a whole discount program. Again, we're just trying to do a good and be a good partner to you guys. But and if anyone wants to do a demo, we can set up a separate podcast to do a tutorial with you. But I think your members would get great value, and really, if they could just take an hour off of being the inventor and really think about being the business person and being the the being respectful to the family. Because what happens is, if God forbid something happens, it really becomes an incredibly complex and very, very expensive process to recreate this.
Yeah, it really does. And like you said, that was so great how you said that. Just take a little bit of time and think about what could happen, what might happen, anything. But, being able to share those documents and have them accessible very quickly. You were telling me earlier that even if, say, someone had to share a document with an attorney or a lawyer, I can even give them access to my account, right?
You can. We've thought of every iteration by having so many attorneys working with us and so many people. We've gone through every case study that we believe with our research, there's nothing in the world right now as comprehensive as FanVault for this part of the life. I mean, yes, you're right. You're using it for your everyday usage. I agree, and so am I. But we built this for end of life.
Yeah.
And what's happened, we are not selling direct right now to the end user. We're coming through your organization, wealth managers, insurance people, lawyers, accountants. We're getting such buy-in from third parties that want to make their clients' life more easy. And that's where we've had the greatest success with
Yeah.
with the launch.
Yeah. 100%. Any of our team members, we gave them see because it makes them feel better about what they're doing. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what we're going to do, Jeff, and I know you got to get going, is we're going to put a link on the UIA website. So all you listeners, if you're thinking about checking FanVault out, we're going to put a link and a button, FanVault button on the UIA website. Go on out to UIAUSA.org and click on that button to, Jeff's going to give some discounts, but if you want to check FanVault out, go ahead and click on that button. We'll have that set up.
And it comes with a golf lesson too, Carmine.
Perfect.
And what can you do? It's a perfect thing.
I mean, you can't beat that.
Perfect storm. Exactly.
But Jeff, I'd love to get you back on. We're probably going to get some feedback from some of our listeners and get you guys back on. We're really going to maybe go in depth and maybe show the program to some of the people.
We would love it. That'd be terrific. And thank you for having me on today. I appreciate it. Hope to see you really soon in person.
No problem, man. Thank you, and we'll talk to you
Carmine. Take
very
care.
soon.
Thank
See
you.
ya.